So today for tutoring, we are going to talk about main idea and details and how to use your brain. Remember how we were talking about asking questions while we're reading?
Yes.
And we are going to practice that strategy. And the reason we do this is, number one, when you're writing a letter to someone, you want to stay focused and you want to have your questions ready to go. You want your main idea and then your details to follow. And then the rest of your life, when you write papers, when you talk, you don't want to talk about dogs in one paragraph and then talk about the weather in that same paragraph. It has to be consistent. The main idea follows with those details. Okay? So today we are going to start with a strategy that we've talked about before, but we use in these little Post-it notes. And how these Post-it notes work, again, I'm just going to remind you, I'll model how it works, and then you'll practice it, okay? So I'm going to model it with a poem. So when, here I got a book for you. You don't even need to share my book today. Aren't you happy? There you go, sweetie. All right. When All the World's Asleep by Anita E. Posey. Where do insects go at night? When all the world's asleep. Where do bugs and butterflies and caterpillars creep? Turtles sleep inside their shells. I didn't know that. Turtles sleep. So that's a fact. I'm going to write down. Turtles sleep inside shells. Wow. So I'm going to write myself a note and stick it right there. That's a fact. Something I need to know for future. Rabbits and the sly old fox have holes where they can rest. Bears can crawl inside of a cave. The lion his den. Cows can sleep inside the barn, and pigs can use their pen. But where do bugs and caterpillars and creep when everything is dark inside and all the world's asleep? So my question is I want to find out, where do they sleep? Where do the insects sleep, and how do they sleep? I've always wondered that. So these are some questions Miss Johnson has and some facts. So you see how I just stuck it as I'm reading, I'm taking notes, and I'm putting it in here versus somewhere else. So we're going to practice this with you. So let's go to page. First off, let me ask you real quick. What was the main idea of that poem I just read to you?
It was ordering about bugs and butterflies and everything. All kinds of bugs went at night.
At night, but what was that? Oh, that's true. But at night, what do we want to know about at night?
Where did they go?
Where do they sleep? Very good. So that would be our main idea. The details would be the different types of animals and how they sleep. Very good, Rayshawn. See, you caught on so quickly. Okay, darling, we want to go to, I might find a page. All right, okay, I have the page already. We want to go, please, to page 25. Oh, you beat me there. Excellent. These are your index cards. You have your pencil. So as you are reading, I would like for you, over here, I would like for you to question. Is there a question you have about something you read? Is there a fact you want to jot down? Okay? So, the title is Leaves. How can we change that into a question?
Like you can ask what kind of leaves.
Maybe it's going to ask about what kind of?
What color leaves.
Excellent. So you're already focusing your thinking now before we're even reading. So go ahead and see how you can read that. Leaves. Go ahead.
Leaves got with their green colors for a
Pigment
called
It's a big tier 3 vocabulary word. You know that word? Chlorophyll.
chlorophyll.
So wait, let's stop. What's something you could write down? You could even write a vocabulary word you want to look up later, right? So what could you write down?
Chlorophyll.
Excellent. So you can write chlorophyll down and we can talk about it later because we don't want to stop our thinking process by talking about it now. But that's great. Nice job. So we'll come back to that. Fantastic. So go ahead. Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll that helps them
Absorb
sun in a
process.
process called
You see this word? Photosynthesis.
photosynthesis.
Very good. Put it together. Photosynthesis. Good.
Photosynthesis.
Remember, whenever you need to stop and write something down, or if you have a question about something, go ahead.
Later,
What's that word? Title of our thing.
leaves.
Good.
Use water,
Energy.
energy for sunlight and carbon
Dioxide.
dioxide.
I know what you mean. Dioxide. That's a tough word.
From air to make for sunlight and
Here, we're right here. A type of sugar
the tree needs for food when leaves and
produce. Right here, baby. Produce
this sugar that also give off
something you breathe.
oxygen.
Good.
Oxygen, which purifies the air we breathe.
Okay, stop there for a second. Do you have any question that you want to write down that you might want to reflect on later? What could be a good thing that you could think about? So we're
Purify the air we breathe.
yes, so you can write purified. Very good. Purified air. So that's something we can talk about later as well, so you're not taken away from the comprehension part. You're just revisiting this. And I'll read the next paragraph, and you think of a question. Okay, so instead of looking for a vocabulary word, let's think of a question. Maple leaves have other pigments too. As days get shorter and temperatures cool down, the leaves begin to rest. Wow, my question is, how do the leaves rest? Is that kind of crazy?
They fall
They fall? Is that what you think?
and they turn different colors.
Okay, so I'm going to write that question for me. I want to make sure you are right, so I like that you're thinking ahead of the game. Whoa, there it goes. I like that you're thinking. So how do they rest? So I'm going to write that. How do they rest? And I'm just going to stick it there. That's my question. It stops making chlorophyll and other pigment-colored leaves, red, orange, and yellow. This is a sign that the tree is getting ready for winter. And you were right. Here's the answer. And will soon drop its leaves. Aren't you the smart one? Okay, so let's take this graphic organizer, because you have some questions. Let's take this graphic organizer, and in the middle it says main idea. What was that paragraph about?
Leaves.
Excellent. So go ahead and write it. And how do you spell it? You're looking at the text, right?
Leaves.
How'd you know it was leaves so quick? How'd you know that?
Because it was talking about leaves and all kinds of leaves.
Fantastic. So we know we want to talk about leaves. What could be a detail about leaves? What's one thing you've learned about leaves from those paragraphs?
Leaves fall off when it's cold.
Fantastic. That's a detail.
Leaves.
Where are they falling off of?
The tree.
Good, good.
Fall.
Very good. Okay, good. So what's another detail we learned about leaves in those paragraphs?
Trees produce carbon dioxide.
Fantastic. And that's one of our words, right? Oh, I thought it was. Good. Oh, it sure is. Fantastic. That's something you learned today. See how you're keeping your focus? The main idea is the leaves, and the little pieces that equal up to leaves are the details.
How you spell produce?
Let's see if we can find it. Here's the word. We always go back to the text to find it. Because a lot of times I forget how to spell too, and I need to go back and find that word in the text to make sure I'm spelling it right versus guessing. Very nice. Very good. Can we give me one more detail? What's another thing you learned about leaves?
They fall when they sleep.
When they're sleeping, okay. So they fall when there's, that was a way of looking at it. That's true, but that's kind of like leaves falling in the winter, kind of like what you said, right? So we already said something about falling. Let's think of something else. Let's look in here. What colors are leaves? What color?
Red, orange, yellow.
Very good. And let's look here. Let's come back to the text and look here. It says pigments. So the pigment colors are, the leaves are red, orange, and yellow. Very good. Excellent. So you can write that down. And as you're writing that, I'm going to go grab our book that we've been reading together real quick. Mr. Johnson should have this book ready. I like that you're doing a good job, Rashawn. And our video person is doing a fantastic job too. Okay. Your handwriting's very nice. It's really improved from the beginning. Have you been working on it?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. So we'll come back to this later this week about our nonfiction after you're finished, our expository text. We're going to touch on our fictional text next. I'm sure the pen that worked. It's up and down, up and down. What exercise I'm getting today? Okay, very nice. So, darling, let's look at this. This is called, you just read nonfiction. Was that true, what you just read? Mm-hmm. So that is called an expository text. So we're going to put that here. Okay? Now, remember we've been reading Freckle Juice?
Mm-hmm.
This is called, what kind of text is this?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction would be this. So what's the opposite of nonfiction?
Fiction.
Excellent, sweetie. So this is a fiction. So can we talk about the differences with the text? What do you find in this? What do you find in here that you won't find in here?
This is real, this is fake.
Fantastic. This is real, so these have facts. And this will not. This is not real. So if it's not real, what's in here? What's this person considered?
A make-believe person.
A person, so we'll call that a character. So you're not going to find characters when they're talking about leaves, are you? But you're going to find characters in the book we've been reading. And in fiction, you'll have a plot. And in here, you just have many, many facts that you put together to write a summary. Okay, so we're going to go back into our book. And remember our process. If you have a question, remember we write it down. Why is this character acting this way? She's acting crazy. Okay.
I thought it was you.
Oh, him. I'm sorry. Thank you. Remember, how did it end? Let's go back to...
He's right here.
Thank you. What page are we on?
14.
14. How did it end? Didn't some little girl tell him something?
That he can drink, what was he trying to get?
Freckles.
Freckles juice.
Yes, and she offered to, what did she offer to do?
To make him something and then he'll have freckles.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy? So we're in chapter 2, right? Okay, so how about this? I read a paragraph, you read a paragraph. You got it? Or right here. Go. Want me to go first? You want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, and then I'm going to be questioning myself too. That night, Andrew had trouble sleeping. He kept thinking about freckle juice. Maybe the reason no one in his family had freckles was because no one knew the secret recipe. I'm going to write that down. What secret recipe is he talking about? Recipe. Okay, I'm going to put that in my book because I need to
I think she gonna make him drink something.
You think? Let's find out. If they never even heard of freckle juice, then how could they have freckles? It figured. Your turn.
Andrew didn't like the idea of
Let's look at the base word.
paying
Good. Paying.
some
That's our character's name, Sharon.
sharing of art.
There's two words. This is a compound word. What's that word?
Anything
Excellent.
and
Uh-huh.
50
cents.
cents was a lot for money. It was fine. What?
Whole, 5 whole.
5 whole week from
Allowance.
allowance.
So as you just read that, you know what came to my mind? If it's 50 cents he has to pay her, it's 5 weeks of allowance. How much is he getting each week in allowance, I wonder?
A quarter. A dime.
Good, a dime, because there's 5 weeks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You answered my question. Good thinker. Go ahead.
I forget where it was.
You're here, baby. I should have stopped you. But he decided.
That from Sharon's recipe didn't work. He didn't add for her money. His money back. It was easy.
So he thinks if it doesn't get freckles, he's going to get his money back. You think she's going to give his money back?
Nope.
Would you?
Nope.
Money back guarantee. Here we go. Let me read. The next morning, Andrew turned the combination of his safe bank to just the right numbers. 4 on, next page, baby, top and 0 on the bottom. He took out 5 dimes. He wrapped them in a tissue and stuffed the whole thing in his pocket. He didn't have time to wash his ears or neck or anything. He wanted to see Sharon before the last bell rang. So, wonder why he wants to see her before the last bell rang.
Because he can then see her and then get her the money.
Give her the money. And what's he going to get in exchange?
Something nasty.
But I know, but what does he want?
Freckle juice.
Freckle juice. Okay, we're going to stop there because I know it's just about your lunchtime. So, I hope today, let's recap what we learned. What's one thing we touched on today?
About leaves and that's freckle juice.
Excellent. And then we talked about what skill?
Leaves.
Leaves, but the leaves was the big picture. It's the
Main idea.
Good. And then all the little pieces are the
You're right.
details. Details are specific. Just like, let me give you one more example. You are Rayshawn. You're the main idea. The details would be like your nice earring, your haircut, your color is dark brown, black hair. You're a 5th grader. Those are all the details. But the big piece is Rayshawn. You got it? Okay, so Thursday when we meet, that's tomorrow because we couldn't do it yesterday. So tomorrow when we meet again, we'll continue in the chapter. We'll continue with our expository and our narrative fictional text. Got it? Any questions for me?
No.
No? Good job. Way to go. Thank you. You know how it turned out? You did a great job videotaping, I have a feeling. Did you?
Mm-hmm. Try and push the button.
Is it working?
I'm trying to see how long.
Yeah, let's look at ourselves for a shot. You guys